A lot of women don't understand. There's some men that seek out broken women because when
Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about why men prefer broken women. So I've put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back to share my true sense.
a lot of women don't understand. There's some men that seek out broken women because when they're weaker and when they are in a vulnerable state, they're easier to manipulate and they're easier to control. So I recommend ensuring that you are healthy, happy, and whole because then you're going to attract what you reflect. If you are a broken mess, that's the only thing that you're going to attract. And when you're in a broken mess and then you try to enter another relationship, it's going to have the same results. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, thinking that you're going to get different results. I do believe it was too soon for her to have another baby. I do believe it was too soon for her to be falling all in love. You don't even know who you are right now because you just became single. You've been wrapped up in this person and this individual for years. And now here you are going into another relationship, taking the soul ties that you had in the last relationship into your new relationship. And you're thinking that you're hurting your ex by trying to get back at him, by trying to like parlay. And I got a new man and aha, look at me. And now the joke's on you. Because when you seek out to try to do things for show, you're going to end up being showed up on. And you're going to end up making a fool out of yourself. So I recommend after a breakup to heal, work on yourself, get physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally ready to enter into a new situation and then go into a new situation because you're only going to end up hurting yourself again and again and again if you go from man to man to man to man to man without healing first.
Men will take the woman who makes less money than him. Men will take the woman who's less in everything, in every aspect of his life than him because he does not want or he cannot tolerate a woman who's more successful than him in social circus, in status, in wealth, in financial, in academic achievement. He can't take it. Only a small percentage of healthy, secure-minded men can. And that is why those small percentage of men actually have women who are highly achieving and have a happy, healthy relationship. They're pushing each other to get better every single day. But majority of the men have an issue with their ego where they can't take the fact that a woman can earn more than her, that a woman can have better, social connections, better following, better status than him, because it hurts his ego. It's very sad that this happens, and they often say this is not the reason, but deep down they know exactly that is the reason why he doesn't want to be with the girl who is better than him in different aspects of his life. Rather than clapping for her, being the partner who's there for her, her best friend, he would leave her, or if he's with her, he would make sure he diminishes her into a doormat, not give her any opportunities to shine while he shines only. You would see in so many cultures, so many households, women clap for their men, their husbands, when they get a promotion, but men make their women may feel miserable if she gets a promotion, if she gets better, if she earns a little bit more, because guess why? He can't take it. So choose men very
I think like a lot of people are too lazy to deal with a healed person, right? Because if I'm dealing with somebody that's broken, then I can show up and give bare minimum and still be held up on a pedestal.
You sure will.
Right? Because you don't know no better, right? You ain't never had better. So if I'm showing up giving bare minimum, doing things like opening doors and pulling out chairs, I'm looked at as, oh my God, he's just this incredible man. You see what I'm saying? But if I date somebody that's healed, that type ain't gonna impress them.
It's not gonna, no.
Because they're used to that. You see what I'm saying? So now I gotta really focus on being considerate. I gotta really be consistent. I gotta show up. I gotta do the things that a man is supposed to do, communication being one of them. And I'm too lazy to do that. So I'm gonna stay away from the healed person and I'm gonna deal with the broken people that I can be a hero to.
Somebody needed to hear this today, okay? Unfortunately, the universe invited you to a different version of me. The broken version of me, the unhealed version of me. That's why the me that you see now makes you so uncomfortable, because I'm healed. I know my value and I know my worth. And I know that you prefer the version of me that you're used to, but that chapter of my life, that page has been turned. That page has been turned. You understand? And anybody like you who wants to continue to remind me of that part of my life or prefers the broken version of me are the people who I will consistently protect my energy from. That's the reason why I don't talk to you. That's the reason why I don't come around. That's the reason why we're no longer compatible. That's why we no longer sit down at the same tables. And trust me, I love you. I want you to eat. We just can't eat together. Have a good day.
A lot of male narcissists choose women whose first heartbreak came from their own family. They can sense the unresolved pain, the quiet tolerance, the way she absorbs blame even when it's not hers. They recognize the silence she carries, the one that formed when her own blood taught her love comes with pain, that being chosen means being hurt, and that closeness always has a cost. Women like her do not expect kindness, they work for it. They explain themselves even when no one is asking. They hold space for others even when they are breaking inside. She is not looking for perfection, she's just looking for someone who does not leave, and that's exactly what makes her appealing to a narcissist. She does not ask for too much, she forgives without being asked. She overcompensates when she is mistreated. Why? Because this is how love was taught to her. She is trying to earn what should have been unconditional from the get-go. To the narcissist, she is easy to mold. She is familiar with emotional chaos. She won't run at the first red flag because red flags were a part of her childhood. She finds comfort in fixing things. She believes in second chances. She sees brokenness and feels responsible for healing it. And if you are this woman, you have to break free. This is not what your life is supposed to be. To do so, you can book a one-on-one session with me if you need help. The link is in my bio. I will see you on the other side.
I'm going to tell you something that's going to make your breakup so much easier on you, and you're going to actually laugh. Did you know that when you break up with someone, they find you, after the breakup, 90% hotter? This is a fact. You can look it up. After breakup, men find women that they've been with and intimate with 90% hotter. So next time you're crying over that man, just think about the next time he sees you. That means he's gonna be biting his lip, wanting you back so damn bad, girl. 90% hotter. And then on the flip side, this is actually the funny part, women find the men 50% worse looking. Yes, so we realized that, they really weren't all that, while they realized they done fucked up. So I hope that makes you feel better next time you're sitting at home crying that you broke up. That man is probably looking at pictures of you, yanking the chain.
Poor girls turn me on. The poorer the girl, the more attracted I am to her. It's only a poor woman that will wake up by 7 a.m. pray for you, NSPPD, go online and say, what God cannot do of this? I'm going to put my husband on the fire altar. I'm going to pray for my husband. Make my husband, oh my God, marry a poor girl. Because when it comes to number one, when it comes to fertility, poor women can be so fertile.
When a man knows you are completely broke and you have no money at all and you're fully dependent on him, it's all cute in the beginning, but later on, the disrespect, downgrading, insults start to reign. It's a little different when he knows that you are making money while he's paying the bills, so it's very easy for you to leave and find another man. Yeah. That's why I talk to you ladies about the digital blueprint. When you get the digital blueprint, you will learn how to make money from home. It's a one-stop shop. Everything you need is inside of it. Link is in my bio.
Men gonna always pick the weaker woman. Let me say it again for the ones in the back. A man will always choose the weaker woman. Let me explain why. So when you got an insecure man, because most of the time only an insecure man is gonna choose a weak woman. A man who is secure within himself gonna always go with the stronger one because they can build better. Okay, so most insecure men gonna choose that weaker woman. Why, you say? Because she's gonna do whatever the fuck he say. He know he can do whatever the fuck he want, and she not gonna go nowhere. Most of the time, she's insecure, and it helps feed his ego because he is insecure. Okay, so then he typically not gonna go with the stronger one because she challenged him. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. She challenged him. She's going to call out the lack of accountability. She's going to call out the shortcomings. She's going to call out the manipulation, the gaslighting, the narcissist. She's going to call it all out. That weak one, she's going to bitch, but she ain't going to bitch about those. She's just going to bitch like, oh, you cheat on me. Most of the time, a man can peep out when a woman is weak, and most of the time, a man will tell other women, other people, she's weak minded, but that's okay. So it's like it's some things that women say that trigger men to like, oh, okay, oh, I know I can do that. When a woman begs a man to give her time or like, just let me grow, that's weak. That's weak right there. And another thing, when a man does wrong and a woman don't walk away, you're telling that man, I can do anything. And another thing is, you gotta be careful about what you tell these men that happened in your past. If you tell a man, I let this nigga cheat on me, I took him back, I did this, that man calculating, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and she's still gonna, she gonna stay, Especially a weak-minded woman. Let a strong motherfucker tell a nigga what happened in the past and he try that shit, watch how fast he gone. All right, y'all.
That's a video, guys. I'm just here also to share my true sense, like what I think about today's video. Why men prefer broken women. So let's just try to be very honest. Some men love broken women not because they're kind, not because they want to help, but because brokenness often comes with silence, compromise, and the absence of boundaries. A broken woman is easier to manage. She questions herself more than she questions him. She apologizes more than she questions him. She also don't know her boundaries. She too afraid of being abandoned again, so she stays even when she's hurting. That's the bitter truth behind this kind of attraction. When a woman is broken, she often shows up in a relationship carrying the weight of rejection, betrayal, and abandonment. She's hungry for love and desperate to feel chosen. And unfortunately, this desperation can be attractive to certain men, the ones who seek power over love, control over connection. These men feel more secure with someone who won't change them, who needs them more than the value herself. They know a healed woman would call out the red flag, walk away from manipulation, and demand respect. But a broken woman, she stays, she tries, she overcompensates. A lot of men don't want to grow, they want to be worshipped. They don't want a cause, they want emotional servants. And when a woman is broken, she's more likely to prioritize his feelings over her own well-being. She blame herself for the emotional neglect, try to fix what is not hers to fix, and stay longer than she should. Some men are addicted to this kind of dynamic because it feeds their ego. It makes them feel needed even when they're not showing up. Let's be clear, not all men love broken women, but the ones who do often they are not emotionally mature or ready to for real intimacy. Real love requires vulnerability, honesty, and accountability. But with a broken woman, a man can bypass all that. He can play the savior without actually saving anything. He can be emotional and available and still be the center of the world. He can cheat and she might forgive him. He can disrespect her and she might blame herself. It's cruel sake of that fit toxic masculinity. Sometimes men like broken women because they see themselves in her. They are broken too, but instead of healing, they find comfort in someone whose wounds make their look smaller. It's a trauma bond. And instead of growing together, they cling to each other out of fear, pain, and past experiences. It's not love, it's survival. It's not partnership, it's codependency. Another reason some men gravitate toward broken women is because healing makes a woman powerful. A healed woman sets standards. She has self worth. She's no longer impressed by bare minimum behavior. That scares insecure men. A healed woman asks hard questions. She demands emotional intelligence. She doesn't chase, she observes. She doesn't need validation. And that's certain men who confuse dominance with love. Some men have internal fear of being exposed with a broken woman. They can hide their emotion immaturity. They can avoid growth. They can remain passive, silent, and emotional absent because she's too busy trying to end their life. But with a whole woman, she will call out the silence. She require communication. She won't settle for crumbs. That's why some men walk away the moment she start to heal. They don't want love. They want control. There's also a deeper culture issue here. Society often romanticizes broken women. Think about it: the ride or die, the dark chick, the woman who stays loyal through the pain. Movies, music, even social media dramatize suffering. When a woman are taught to prove their worth through struggle, and men lean, the more she suffer for them, the more she must love him. It's twisted, but deeply, this is just an idea of love, not loyalty. Brokenness is not an invitation for men, it's a state of pain. And while healing is a personal journey, it's also a boundary. The more a woman heals, the less tolerance she has for emotional games. The more she loves herself, the less she allows herself to be treated like an option. That's why healing is terrifying for men who pre vulnerability, because once she heals, she sees himself for who he really is and she walks away. So the next time you wonder why some men seem to love broken women, understand that's not always about love. Sometimes it's about control, sometimes it's about fear, sometimes it's about ego. But the truth is, a healed woman is the most dangerous kind of woman to love toxic men, because she no longer chooses pain in the name of love. She chooses peace. And that's, my friends, is what some men can't handle. So I've put the videos for you guys so that you watch. Thank you so much. Kindly subscribe. Bye.